Beautiful day here in New York. Uh, just relaxing on my break. So today, guys, I wanted to talk about dating in other countries. I'll just give a few minutes for a few people to jump on in the live. Um, Normally, when I do a live, guys, it's pretty much random. Yeah, random. Yeah. And also, I got maybe two interviews coming up. One this week, so I will update you guys sometime this week in terms of when I'm going to do this interview. And it's another YouTuber by the name of Brooklyn Nomad. So if you guys want to check out his channel, you can always check him out. Brooklyn, BrooklyNNOMAD, Brooklyn Nomad. It's a new YouTuber, and he's building his home in Dominican Republic, and he's also building a home somewhere else in another country, in which we'll talk about that, when I do the interview with him. But I wanted to talk about dating in other countries, okay? Aside of, Dominican Republic, and a lot of you guys know the backstory. Uh, when I was dating previously a Dominican girl, and kind of took me for a ride, and if you don't know the backstory, you may have to check out that video. It reigns top video of all the videos that I've put out on the YouTube channel. So I think it's like a little over 8,000 views on that particular video. But anyway, yeah, guys. So I've been traveling the DR since 2016, and dated a dated one chick exclusively for 2 years, and didn't work out. I'm not gonna go into full detail. Like I said, I put out a video about that whole situation. So if you missed it, you're gonna have to check out that video. But so now, we're talking what, 7 years later? Yeah, 7 years later, still traveling to DR, building a home there, and I'm pretty much at this point in my life, I'm looking to settle down. I'm 44 years old. Uh, just brothers out there that's my age that still want to play the game, to each his own, I think the breakthrough for me is when I got sick, and here it is, I'm laying in my apartment. I'm like, damn, this is the time where you need somebody that's gonna a ride or die, somebody's gonna hold you down, somebody's gonna take care of you. And as we get older, I think men, we don't think about those things. You know what I'm saying? We want to play around, we want to play the fields until we damn near 60, 70 years old. And then once we hit that age, we ain't got nobody to look after us. Trust me, there's a few people that I know, who have been through that situation. And I'm like, I'd be damned, if that's me, when I hit that age. Nah, I want to be in a secure relationship, knowing that God forbid something happens to me, I got a female on my team that's gonna hold me down, that's gonna do the right thing by me. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I've been looking, talking to different women in Dominican Republic. Most of you guys know I do have a preference, preferably an Afro Latina woman, age appropriate. That way, because when you're dating somebody younger, that's just my experience. When you date somebody younger, it's like you're really not on the same page, in terms of the age difference. You know what I mean? Yeah, women in Dominican Republic, they grow up faster, but at the same time, uh, it's a lot of playing around. A lot of them look at us like cash cows. A lot of them, look at us as a lot of them are opportunists. You know what I mean? Not to say all, and I'm just going based on my experience. I have talked to a number of women, and I've been phasing them out left and right, left and right. And I said, okay, well, you know what? Let me try dating somebody younger, just to see. And I started talking to this girl. She's about 21 years old, okay? And I did tell her initially that I was looking for somebody a little bit more age appropriate. And she assured me, oh, I like older men, and seems like this is the norm for them. When you're talking to somebody that's younger, they always say they like younger men. Okay, so I said, okay, let me give it a try. So we started talking, and she said she already had a baby. The father of her child was absent. Did I get the full story on that? Not really. And that's one thing, guys. You if there's red flags in the beginning, please don't ignore the red flags. And there's certain things that I ignored, in which I should have cut it, you know what I mean, from the gate. Once I seen that there was little lies, because once a woman lies, them small lies become big lies and bigger and bigger. And if you lie about something small, there's no telling what you gonna lie about, you know what I mean. So I should have just left her alone when she did what she did. Now, I told her, I said, look, I understand you're young. I get that. And this goes for brothers who are looking to date younger women. Okay. I told her straight up, I said, I know you're younger than me. I'm not a controlling man. If you want to go out and have fun with your friends, I don't have a problem with that. Miguelian, what's going on, my brother? What's going on? So I told her, I said, I don't have a problem, with you hanging out with your friends. But at the same time, if we're dating and we're involved, we're in a relationship, whatever you want to call it, I just think that you need to show me the respect as being your man by calling me and let me know that you're home. You know what I mean? Here it is. I'm in the States. You're in DR. There's no telling what the fuck you're doing. Especially if I'm meeting you. We're just starting out from the beginning. So the first night she went out with her sister. No problem with that. I said, okay, just call me when you get home. Boom. I'm looking, because I work 4 to 12. So at most times I don't get to bed till about 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, okay, it's 12, it's 1, it's 2. Chick never called me, right? I left it at that. She called me the next day. I said, yo, what happened? What happened, last night? You never called me. And I told her straight up, when you're dating these women, you got to be straight up with them, in terms of your likes, your dislikes, that way they know exactly where you're coming from. So I told her, I said, listen, I told you I don't have a problem with you going out. But if I'm gonna be a boyfriend, man, or whatever, at least have that respect and call me when you get home. There's no telling what could have happened to you. Not that I'm thinking that you out there fucking around, but you driving a motor concho, anything could happen to you at night. You know what I'm saying? Give me that respect by at least telling me, okay, you know what, Poppy, I'm on my way home. That way I know you home and we good, right? So she assured me that it wouldn't happen again. Okay. So now the next week comes around, right? She's going out again. She's going out again. So I'm like, okay, so now this is a pattern. This is a pattern. Um, so I didn't say nothing about her going out. Now I'm falling back. I'm watching. I'm observing everything she does at this point. So now she's like, okay, I'm going out now. Mind you, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I I have a thing for the kids. I love the kids. So she had a baby. And most times when you talking to a girl overseas, like you're gonna be the one that's fitting the bill. Let's just be real. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Like when you're dating a woman in the Dominican Republic, and most times you're gonna be sending her money and helping her out or whatever. So I didn't have a problem with that. She's got a baby. Okay, I didn't go crazy. A couple of dollars here, a couple of dollars here, there, right? So now she goes out the following weekend. Now keep this in mind. Now I'm talking to her, and I introduced my homeboy to the sister, right? So now me and my boy, we sharing notes now. We sharing notes about both of them. So this is where the red flag comes in. So she goes out. I didn't say nothing. I'm like, okay, let me see what time she called. I'm like, okay, enjoy yourself, have a good time, right? But when she told me, she said, oh, Papi, I'm going out with my sister. My sister treated me out, right? Oops, this is about dating. I'm out. Peace, brother. McGillen, peace, brother. So yeah, so she's like, my sister treated me. She's treating me, right? So I said, okay, no problem. So then my boy called me. He said, yo, His girl's going out, they both going out, but he told me that his girl said that her sister is treating her. So wait a minute. We both, I sent her a couple of dollars. My boy sent her a couple of dollars. So I'm like, wait a minute, bro. She told me that your girl treated her. So now your girl's telling you that my girl is treating her. So now somebody's lying. Somebody's lying now, right? Somebody's lying. So I called her out on it. I was like, yo, you told me that your sister's treating you, but my boy told me that your sister said that you treating her. So what's going on here? You know what I mean? Um, she kind of made up some excuse. At that point, guys, I should have deaded her from then. Should have just deaded her from then. But I kept talking to her. And then at the same time, I told my boy, I said, listen, you don't know these Dominican women like I do. I've been there, done that. So if you're gonna look out for this girl and talk to her, okay, fine. But don't go crazy sending this girl a whole bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? If you want to send her $20 here, $20 there, they got kids and shit. Okay, fine. You know what I mean? Don't go crazy because we were on our way. We were going to Dominican Republic anyway. We were going there, so they knew that we were coming, right? It can't always be about the crib. Sometimes we got to talk about women and dating. Laugh out loud. Facts. I know people want to hear about property and stuff like that, but this is all about Dominican Republic. I'm talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, what to do, what not to do, and my experiences, so that it can help other brothers. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, so they both lying now. One is lying, and I told my boy, you need to be cautious, right? Now I was talking to this chick from January. I started talking to her, I believe, like maybe November of last year, and then I deaded her in like I say just before I went to DR in December. So I was talking to her for about 2 months, and within the 2 months of me talking to her, I can tell you how much I sent her. I probably sent her about $70. You know what I mean? So and she knew that we were coming, right? So basically, she went out with her sister. Now, I told her, call me when you get home. She went out. She never called me. Never called me, right? I deaded her, blocked her. She had her family calling me, her brother, her sister. I spoke to her brother. He seemed to be a cool dude. So I told him, I was like, bro, I understand your sister's young, and I'm not a controlling man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. And for those of you guys who decide to date younger women, you can't be controlling. You got to give the woman some space, man. Especially us being older brothers. There's a lot of things that they want to do that we're not gonna that we don't want to do. It could be a number of reasons. We might be tired. We might have disabilities that won't allow us to do the things that we want to do when we're dating somebody younger. But that doesn't mean that we should stop them, you know what I'm saying, from enjoying their life, because we were once young too. So y'all got to keep that in mind. Y'all can't, be controlling when you're dating these younger women, because all that's gonna do in the long run, they're gonna grow to eventually hate you, and because you're depriving them of their youth. You understand what I'm saying? So you can't do that. You just can't. So back to what I was, back to the story. She never called me. So I blocked her. Family calling me. I said, all right, I'm gonna give it another chance. Another chance. So guys, I gave it another chance after all the bullshit, right? So now, this is the third time around. She decides to go out again. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I see this as a pattern. So this lets me to believe that you're a party girl. You like to go out and party every fucking weekend. That's not the kind of woman that I want for myself. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna read some of these comments. Nobody 718 plus anybody who ends up visiting DR eventually gonna fall in love soon. Gotta break these things down. Exactly. X the one and only XX facts. I wish you the best. I'm cooling in the DR now. Another great video, fam. I appreciate you, bro. So yeah, this is the third time around now. So now she's getting smart and slick and trying to be strategic with her shit, but I'm 2 steps ahead of you, sweetheart. I know game when I see it. So now, she goes out again, right? No, she didn't go out. This is what she tells me. She's like, oh, Poppy, I'm not feeling well. I'm having a headache, this and that. I'm like, okay, well, take something. Take something for your headache. So she's like, I think I'm going to go to bed now. Now, guys, I'm looking at my time. It's like 6 o'clock. So you mean to tell me you going to bed at 6 o'clock on a Saturday night? I said, once I hang up the phone with this chick, she don't even realize it's done. It's a done deal. I'm done, right? So I hang up. I'm like, okay, feel better. I hope you feel better, right? So I waited. I said, let me just see something. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to see what time she calls me. Because if you're not feeling well, right, and you got a 3-month-year-old, let's just be honest, a 3-month-year-old is not sleeping all fucking night. Eventually, they gotta wake up because they're hungry. Their diapers need to be changed. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, this chick didn't call me until 12 o'clock the next afternoon. So, you know what that leads me to believe? It leads me to believe that you was out, at the discotheque all fucking night, drinking, living the Viva Loca. You understand what I'm saying? And now, while your mom is watching your baby, and you probably didn't get home till maybe 2 o'clock in the fucking morning, and you're sleeping and resting up, and then now you want to call me at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like, when she called me, I deaded her right then and there. I kindly text her, look, I got trust issues. You already know how I feel about, the communication, the lack of communication. I'm done, and I left it at that. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but I left it at that. So now she's been following me still. I didn't block her. I didn't block her from social media. I didn't block her. I allowed her to see all my shit, just to see what kind of man that I am. You know what I mean? The proof is in the pudding. I ain't got nothing. I no reason to lie to you. And to be honest with you guys, I really felt sorry for her child. I felt sorry for the baby. You know what I mean? And she knew how I feel about kids. So she was using her child as a pawn to kind of try to draw me back in, right? So I ended up leaving her alone. And then I said, you know what? I'm like, I got tired of talking to DR chicks. I'm talking to this one, talking to that one on these dating sites. You know what I mean? I'm tired. I'm at this point where I'm like, I think I done, did enough in terms of trying to find somebody that's loyal, that's real, that's down to earth. You know what I mean? So it goes back to what I was saying, fellas, in my last video about, don't just look at Dominican Republic. There's other countries out there, man. Other countries, and I've traveled around to tell you that, you might have to find love somewhere else. These are for the brothers that are looking for something serious, okay? Some brothers that are looking for something serious. You the brother that's just playing the field, then this video might not be for you. You know what I mean? So with that being said, right, I met another brother, a viewer of mine, and I'm going to do an interview with him because we haven't known each other long, but real recognize real. We on the same wavelength, and what this brother is doing is something that I aspire to do, man. Like, this brother's out here living his best life. So with that being said, he's out there, and he's out right now. He's out in the Philippines, right? He's out in Philippines. He's a YouTuber, somebody that I'm going to be interviewing soon, because I think you guys, some of you probably already follow him. I found his content through a viewer of mine, and then I just reached out to him, and we've just been chopping it up almost every single day, man, every single day. So with that being said, he's out there in Philippines. Now, me, I live in New York. New York is a multicultural city, and I know a lot of Filipino people. I do. Nurses, a lot of the nurses that came from the Philippines, they came straight to Philippines to New York as contracted nurses. So I've experienced the culture. And one thing that I can say about people from Philippines, they're very, very friendly, very inviting, very family oriented people. This is just my experience, that I've had with Filipino people. They've invited me to their home. I mean, when I tell you they can cook and just, they're all about family. So with that being said, I'm like, I had already traveled to Japan. I traveled to Asia, traveled to Japan, traveled to Thailand, and Philippines was always on my bucket list. Always on my bucket list. And I said, yo, once my house is done, I'm definitely got to make a trip to Philippines. So anyway, so he's in Philippines right now, and he met this girl out there, and we've been talking and chopping up every day, and he's with her every single day. And I talk to her, and she's just dope. When I tell y'all her personality, dope, just dope. I mean, I mean, that's just the best way of describing this woman. You know what I mean? And I told her, I said, bro, that one right there, I said, you hit the jackpot with that one, bro. I told him straight up, you hit the jackpot with that one. And he said, Jay, I know, I know. I said, I wouldn't let that one go. So I'm talking to her, and one thing I love about the Philippines is, well, people anyway, English is their second language. Well, actually, it's like, yeah, it's their second language. So most people from the Philippines speak English. So, there's no barrier in terms of like the language. You know what I mean? No language barrier at all. So now, he's talking to her, and I started talking to her. So I said, yo, I told her, I said, I need to meet somebody like you. You got any friends? And she's like, yeah, I got friends. I got friends. And she said, well, what kind of girl are you looking for? Right. So now, guys, this is what I'm going to tell you. Um, when it comes to picking our mates, man, we got to be realistic, one. And two, we already know that we're going to be the breadwinner. We the breadwinner. You dating a chick from overseas, we're more than likely gonna be the breadwinner. So with that being said, pick your mates wisely. There's nothing wrong with wanting somebody that can offer you something that might not be able to offer you something financially, but somebody that that you can potentially build with. You know what I mean? So when she asked me that question, I already knew what I'm looking for. I already know, I'm sorry, what I'm looking for. And I told her straight up, I said, I'm in the medical field. I'm a healthcare professional. So I prefer a woman that's in the same field as me, a nurse, a doctor. So I said, somebody age appropriate. So she started thinking. She's like, She said, you know what? I have a niece that's in nursing school. I said, boom, right there, boom. I said, that's exactly what I'm looking for, right? So, so she introduced me to her niece. And one thing about, you know, I know this on hand. Like, if you're a nurse in the Philippines and you get your nursing credentials, New York will take you right away. See, there's no what's the word? All you have to do is take the NCLEX, the New York State Nursing Exam, and you once you pass that exam, because they accept the credentials from the Philippines. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that I'm looking at it as a financial aspect. You know what I mean? Like, if I were to marry this girl and I brought her to the States, I wouldn't have to worry about, oh, how's she gonna like having to be the sole provider. Nah, she's got her credentials. I bring her here, she takes the NCLEX, and boom, she's automatically a nurse. She starts working as a nurse. You know what I mean? So I said, if I'm going to pick them, I want to pick a woman that can be able to help me. You know what I'm saying? Joshua Tree said, you pimping. You damn right. You damn right. Because they're looking at us as opportunists. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, I mean, you got to, if you're going to choose your mate, you better choose it wisely. So with that being said, I'm talking to this girl from Philippines now. And most of y'all know, like I said, I prefer a woman of a certain age, but she's 19, guys. She'll be 20 next month. So she's 20 years old. And I told her aunt, I said, well, I said, she's kind of young. And her aunt said, well, J-Day, in our culture, women, we start having children at 20. We are expected to start having children at 20. And if we don't, they look at us like it's a problem. You know what I mean? So it's in the culture for Filipino women to start bearing children at a young age. It's in the culture. And another thing that really was like, I was like, iffy about is the fact that her pops, I'm older than her pops, guys. I'm older than her pops, you know? And I was like, damn, you know, but she introduced me to her grandmother, her grandfather, her aunts, her mother, her father, and the whole family is okay. I know most of y'all are probably saying, yeah, they okay with you being with her because you know you're a foreigner with money. You know what I mean? But I was doing my research. It really I started literally going on YouTube and pulling up like dating in the Philippines, you know, and it's in the culture for no different from the DR. You know, they're my my hold on guys, hold on. Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but it's no different than DR, guys. Same thing in the Philippines. It's in their culture for them to date older men. You know, it's in their culture. And I stumbled across this YouTube channel. This white guy married a 19-year-old Filipino woman, and he was damn near in his 60s. And you know, just listening to his story, he said, "Man, I got sick." And you know she took care of me. He said, and I told her, listen, I know that I'm sick. And he's like, she said, I'm with you because I love you. And she stuck by him through all his ailments that he had, you know what I mean, surgeries and all of that. So I'm saying this to say that, you know, when it comes to Filipino, you know, women, and in that culture, they're more likely to stick by you, more likely to stick by you. And then, you know, another thing, because, you know, I asked this girl that I'm talking to, because it's still fresh with us, guys. It's still fresh, you know, but there's certain questions that you got to ask, especially if you're looking for somebody to be with long term, marry, start a family, etc., etc. You know, there's certain things that you got to ask early on, because I already know that whatever woman that I get with, I really don't have intentions on bringing them to the States. I don't. That's just me. You know what I mean? So I asked her about, you know, her life, and, you know, I love the campo life, country life. I love that. She's from the country, from the province, and she told me, she said, you know, right now she's living in the city only because she's got to go to school, and her parents made her move to the city. And she said, I prefer the countryside. I miss my family so much. I said, well, how do you like Manila, which is like their big city in Philippines? And she said, I hate it. I hate the big city. You know, she's like, I want to go back home so bad. And when I started, you know, I seen her house and where she's from, because mind you, my boy that's out there in Philippines right now, he's dating her aunt. So where they're living in the province of Philippines, you know, it's the kind of life that I want for myself. And this is why I built, you know, my house in a campo. So the kind of life that they're living, man, is peaceful. Everything is natural. Everything is organic. They're raising their own chickens and goats, and they got. I mean, it's just. I said, bro, you out here living the dream. You living the dream that pretty much everybody that's looking to get the hell out of the States. This is the kind of dream that you're living, man. And it's just to see him doing this, it's like, bro, it's just motivating me even more to get myself out of the matrix. You know what I mean? And yeah, he done got with this girl, and she, like I said, I can't. She's just dope. It's it now. He's building a home out there. He's building a home not just in Dominican Republic, but in the Philippines too. And I'm going to do a live video with this guy, because I want you guys. I now, you know, now that he's out there, because as I said, for those of you who haven't traveled to Asia, you might need to put that on your bucket list. No, I haven't been to Philippines yet, but as I said, I've been to Japan and I've been to Thailand. So I know, you know, that in, especially in Thailand, it's just a undescribable vibe, man. Like in terms of how they treat, you know, people of color. Oh man, they're just very inviting, very inviting. It's no barriers, and if there was any racism, I didn't see it. You know what I mean? It's not like in your face. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing in the Philippines with him. Based on what I see, because he calls me every day. Everybody is friendly towards him, and his girl told me. She said, "Jay, you know, I'm sorry, his girl told him, when you come here, when you come to my town, you don't even have to tell me you're coming, because as soon as you hit here, everybody knows that you're here. I'll get word that you're here before you even come, because everybody knows who you are. You know what I mean? So, and he told me, he said, Jay, I feel safe here. I feel comfortable. So I asked him, I said, well, let me ask you a question, bro. I said, if you had to pick Dominican Republic or the Philippines, which one would you pick? And he told me, he said, bro, I picked the Philippines. I'm like, wow. And he told me, he said, had I known, had I came here first before going to Dominican Republic, he said, I would have built my house here. I would have started my project here rather than build over there in Dominican Republic. And I'm like, wow. But you can see it all over his face, him being just at peace. The man is at peace, man. And I think that's what we all are looking for. Just that sense of peace. You know what I mean? The quality of life that we all desire to have. You know what I mean? And let me read some of these comments. You got to make sure she's on the same page of leaving and moving to Dominican Republic when you're ready. You know what, Crazy World? You're right. But you know what, man? I'll cross that bridge when I get there. And I said to myself this. This is what I said, Crazy World. I said, let's just say things do work out with me and her, and I'm down in Dominican Republic. Well, to be honest with you, bro, if I get with this girl and all goes well, I'm probably gonna end up marrying her. You guys might probably think that I'm jumping the gun, but when and I'm gonna tell you, like, kind of some of the things she has said to me. She's asked me, what are my intentions? You know what I mean? That right there was like, wow. She's asking me what, like, I should be asking you, what are your intentions? I'm the American here. You know what I'm saying? So for her to ask me, what are my intentions? I'm like, wow. And then when I started talking about building a house and this and that, she's like, whoa, 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 why are you rushing? And like, that's shit that I'm not used to hearing from a woman outside of the United States, because most women, when they meet a foreigner, they on it. You know what I mean? They are on it. So I was just like, wow, this girl is like asking me, why am I rushing? And I told her, no, I'm not rushing. I'm just telling you, like, if we do, things do work out between us, this is what I'd like to do. But back to what you were saying, Crazy World, if things do work out with me and this chick and we end up getting married and I'm down in DR, I'm gonna be honest, I planned on living between both countries. You know what I mean? I planned on doing what my boy is doing out there right now, building a home out in Philippines. Because, and that's another thing, brothers and sisters, for the sisters that's watching, and I have said this countless of times, in terms of choosing your mate. If you're gonna be that breadwinner, you better pick your mate right. Dude said pimping. Nah, I mean, it's not pimping, but at the same time, help me to help you. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm helping you, how can you help me as well? How can we help each other to elevate? And I'm saying this to say that this girl that I'm talking to in Philippines, her family, they all live on a compound. Everybody's got their own land. So, if you're going to choose a woman or a guy, for you females, choose somebody that's got something to offer you. Because I said, okay, you know what? If I do marry this girl, they got their own land. So I don't have to buy any land, because the land is already there. You know what I mean? All I got to do is pretty much build on it. And from the cost of building versus building in Dominican Republic in the Philippines, I was just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Excuse my French. When my boy started breaking down the startup cost to build a home in the Philippines, if I'd have known that, I probably would have built my house in the Philippines. Seriously, because the price that I'm paying to build my home in Dominican Republic, guys, I could have built three houses, in the Philippines. Yeah, yeah. So, that's just my thing. If things go well with her and I, I'll live in Dominican Republic, and we'll be back and forth between the Dominican Republic and the Philippines. Because when my house is done in Dominican Republic, and I marry this chick and we end up, together, I'm gonna build a home in in Philippines only because it's cheaper. Yeah, it's cheaper. The Nobody 92 is that cheaper. Yeah, man, it's cheap as hell. I put it to you this way: you can build a 2-bedroom home in the Philippines anywhere between 17 to 21,000. 17,000 would be at basic materials for the home finishings, and the 21,000 would be for high quality materials. Yeah, that's how much it costs to build in the Philippines. Yeah, but I'm gonna talk more with you guys about that when I do the live with my boy that's out there right now living his best life, man. But I wanted to share that with you guys. Like, if you were looking for, the brothers is looking for love and looking to settle down and get married and find a mate overseas, man. Don't limit yourselves. Don't limit yourselves to just Dominican Republic. And I'm not saying that I don't want you guys to think that I'm talking bad about Dominican women, because there's a lot of good Dominican women out there. I'm not, I don't want you guys to think all Dominican women are bad. Nah, it's a lot of good women out there. However, me and my experience, just based on my experience and what I've been through, and just talking to different women. And mind you, this woman that I'm talking to in Philippines hasn't asked me for a dime, hasn't asked me for anything. She comes from a family who's self-sufficient. Seeing how her family lives, I'm just like, oh man, they got their own chickens, they got their own cows, pigs, rabbits, vegetables, a store on the compound, and every family's got their own house, and they share everything. Everything is being shared amongst the family. So I'm a family man. I love my family. So to see, how Filipino people are just family oriented, that right there within itself just kind of draws me, you know what I mean, to the Filipino culture. And I know that I've experienced that off, on hand, like working with Filipino people and being invited to their gatherings and seeing how, family oriented they are and how they eat together. You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing in the Philippines. And as I said, my boy calls me every day on live, and we chopping it up. And I'm telling him, I'm like, bro, because I've been helping him along with his channel too. I told him, I said, bro, you got me itching over here. I want to see what you putting out. I want to see the kind of content you putting out, because he's got a lot of content. And that was one thing I told him. I said, bro, you building a house in the Philippines over there in the province, being a YouTuber, you need high-speed internet, because he's out there in the province with his girl and they family. He said, Jay, they feeding me every day. Like, he's like, one thing about the Filipino culture, you gonna eat. If nothing else, you gonna eat. I'm like, yo, y'all gotta stop getting my boy fat out there. I told him, you gotta stop feeding him all that food. But yeah, man, so I'm excited to meet this girl. We haven't met yet, but we've been talking, and she was kind of shy. Filipino women are very shy, I must say, guys. For those of you who never experienced, talking to one, or never had any encounters with a Filipino woman, they're very shy. And I could tell you, like when I used to work with the Filipino nurses that came to New York, you know, the people that I worked around, we used to talk, reckless about sex and shit like that. And when we talked about sex, you should see like the Filipino women, like they faces turn like beet red. Like, I mean, I'm like, damn, like talking about sex in their country is taboo. You know what I mean? And she's like, they were covering their faces, like, no, not like it was like taboo for them, So this is the kind of this is how Filipino women are. They're shy, they're nurturing, they're loving, and they love having big families. Filipino culture, you have a lot of children. And I was talking to my girl, I'm calling her my girl already. Oh man. Ain't my girl yet, guys. We still talking, but probably gonna end up being my girl. She probably gonna end up being the one, you know. But she told me that she wants to have a lot of kids, you know. She says she wants to have a lot of kids. And I'm like, wow, you know, I'm looking to maybe have like 2 or 3. I'm building this big ass house in DR, so why not go ahead and do it? You know what I mean? I'm gonna read some of these comments. Crazy World said, I met a dude on Long Island who was a home health aide. He met and married a woman in the Philippines. He built a huge house there for 31,000. He's still in New York working and goes back and forth. Yeah, yeah, you see, and that's what I planned on doing, man. If all goes well with this chick, which you know what, you know, like most of us, man, majority of us, man, we know when a woman is good and we know when she's bad. And when we know she's bad, we see the red flags, but we want to just ignore it only because we just, you know, sometimes our heart gets the best of us, But with this chick right here, guys, I have a really good feeling about this. You know, I really do. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm gonna be heading down to Philippines sometime in like September. Yeah, to go and check it out, and you know what I'm saying, and see what the vibe is like that out. What the vibe is in the Philippines. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I plan on going out there to meet her, her family. You know what I mean, and yeah, yeah, see what it's about. Nobody 92 says the only thing about Philippines is the flights be mad long, almost 24 hours. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It do. The flights are like, because I was already looking at flights. Well, I'm from New York, so they do have direct flights from New York to Philippines, which is like roughly 21 hours. But I flew from New York to Japan. That was 13 hours straight. So if I could do 13 hours on a plane, what's another 12? You know what I'm saying? I could do it. You know, I could do it. Yeah. You just got to know how to fly. Like my boy told me, don't take no night flights. You fly during the day. Because right now it's 1:56 in the afternoon here. In Philippines it's 1:56 in the morning. So it's pretty much a 12-hour difference. And then when you are flying to Asia, I tell people, yo, make sure when you get back to wherever you coming from, um, make sure you take at least 2 or 3 days off because that jet lag is a motherfucker. I mean, when I tell y'all, it took me two or 3 days to adjust myself to the time zone back here at home. Yeah, yeah, because when we got there, it was like when we should be sleeping, we're up. And then it took us about a good 3 or 4 days to get, because we went to Asia for 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. So it took us like 3 or 4 days to get ourselves adjusted to their time zone. And then by the time we got back home, I'm like, oh man, yeah. So I tell people, you know, when you go to Asia, try to stay at least a little over 2 weeks. Give yourself 2 weeks. And not just that, you know, bring it's because it's relatively inexpensive, especially in Thailand. Japan, it's the first world country, so I tell people Japan is a little bit more pricey. It's the most expensive in Asia, the most expensive country in Asia. Outside of that, everything else is cheap. Thailand is very cheap. And the most expensive thing is the flight going there. You know what I mean? Once you get there, the hotels that we pay for here, you can get, okay, let's just say for an example, like when I went to Thailand, I considered that hotel a 5 fucking star. And no lie, me and my boy paid $50 a night, $25 a piece. And the hotel was lit. And then once you get there, it's so cheap to fly to the neighboring countries. I'm talking about, you can, once you're in Thailand, you can fly to Cambodia and Indonesia for about $160. Maybe the prices don't went up a little bit. No less, no more than $200 round trip. You know what I mean? So I tell people, you go to Asia, try to go for 2, 3 weeks, and I forget the term that they use. Hop around to the neighboring countries so that you can experience, you know, other parts of Asia. You understand? Oh yeah, because when we went to Japan, we flew from Japan to Thailand. Bangkok, which is the city of Thailand, just like that shit was like New York City on steroids. It'll take you all day just to navigate that city. That's how huge it is. And then we flew from Bangkok to Phuket, which is the coastal part of Thailand, which is a lot of Russians, a lot of it's just like a tourist trap. Phuket was nice, but if you are looking for more of the culture, I would tell you to stay outside of Phuket. Maybe try like Chiang Mai and other parts of Thailand where it's not too many tourists at. And one unique thing about Thailand, I don't want to go at a subject, but Thailand is the only country that was never invaded by another country. You know what I mean? So that the culture there is 100%. It's not mixed with any other races or anything like that. Yeah. So you guys who've never been to Thailand, I highly recommend checking Thailand out, man. For me, it was an epic trip, epic. And I told my boy, like, bro, we got to go back. We got to go back. But now that I'm talking to this girl, um, it has motivated me to get myself out there to Philippines to see what she's about, her family's about, etc., etc. Maurice, some of these comments. The Nobody 92 said, why do you think Filipino people aren't pressed to use you for money or try to use you for a visa like Dominican women do? Wow, that's a good question, bro. It's a good question. I don't really know. I can't even answer that. I can't. I will tell you that, you know, uh, Filipino people, they are instilled, with family values. You know what I mean? And I think probably it stems from, their values. You know what I mean? Just it's just in their culture to be that way. It's in their culture to be that way. The women are raised to nurture their husbands. I mean, it's kind of there are definitely some similarities. Um, I just think that Dominican Republic, in terms of the women, they just have more of a bad rap. It's more stories coming out of Dominican Republic than there is coming out of Philippines. And most guys that, like I said, it don't just take it for what I'm telling you. Now that I'm talking about Philippines, go on YouTube and just type in dating women in Philippines. There's pros and there's cons to it. And there are people who are they're expats that live out there full time that have more experience than I do. You know what I mean? So they could tell you based on their experience how the women are. And I'm telling you based on how the women that I've encountered here in the States, how the Filipino women are, And so I have been, encircled around Filipinos. So I'm just telling you based on my experience. And when it comes to like race, they don't have a problem dating black men. Like whereas certain countries, like I've heard, I don't know how true it is, but like if you go to China and a black woman dating a Chinese woman, it's really looked down upon. To whereas in Philippines, it's not a big thing for a Filipino to date a black man. You know what I mean? It's not. Like when my boy is out there and he's on his live talking, like we live and he's talking to me. Every time you turn around, somebody's speaking to him, somebody's, talking to him, and he told me, he said, I don't feel like, he said, like when he goes to Dominican Republic, he told me, he's like, you have people who try to get over on you. You know what I mean? He doesn't get that. He doesn't get that feeling, you know? And you know what? One good thing he said about his girl that he's dating now, like I know she's like I said, she's dope. So he told me, he said, Jay, I told her when I come back, I'm gonna need you to have 2,000 pesos for me. You know what I mean? He said, cause he said, Jay, I just wanted to see, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm holding her down. He said, I told her there might be times I might not have it, because that's another thing. Most people think that, most women think, us coming from these, different countries, we automatic, we're rich. And he told her, like, I ain't got it. There might be times where I might not have the money. So I'm gonna need you to hold me down as well. So he said, Jay, he said, when I came back, he said, she had $2,000, not pesos, 2,000 Filipino pesos. Well, not, I'm sorry, it was equivalent to 2,000 Filipino pesos, but she had like $40 of American singles because she's a masseuse or whatever. And she said to him, hey, I got some money for you. It's not a lot, but I got some money for you. And I was like, yeah, you see that, it's, see, for me, guys, when it comes to dating a woman, it's the small things that count to me. Like, you don't gotta have shit. I already know you ain't got much, but it's the small things. Those are the things that I pay close attention to. You know what I'm saying? And you should too. Like, yeah, it's the small things for me. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's like, yeah, he said, Jay, she had that money for me. I'm like, wow. And I keep telling him, bro, stick with that one. I could tell she's a good one. And she gonna tell me, you know what she told me, guys? She said, I spoke to them last night. She was like, because at first, the girl was afraid to talk to me. I had to call her aunt. And I was like, yo, why don't your niece want to talk to me on video? What's up with that? And she's like, Jay, she's shy. She's shy. So it had to take her aunt for her to call me. And when she did call me, she called me, the phone rang, and then she hung up. I'm like, oh man. So then I called her back, and she's talking to me like this, like she didn't want to see my. I'm like, yo, let me see your face. Let me see your face. And she's like, so eventually, she told me that she feels like her English is not that good. But I'm like, I can understand you. I can understand you clearly. And I told her, if you feel like you don't think that I understand you, just ask me. I said, the only way you're gonna get better is by conversing. That's how you get better, is by conversing. You know what I mean? So now she feels comfortable, talking, and now she texts me, oh, I'm going here, I'm going there, so now she's like, she wasn't, it's not saying that she wasn't attentive when she was texting me via text message or whatever, but now she's like, now that she spoke to me and we talking on video, I I feel like, our bond is kind of getting a little stronger, whatever. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see, what this girl is about. Um, I'm excited to meet her family, even though I feel like I know them already, only because she done introduced me to everybody. I met her grandmother on her mom's side, her grandparents on her father's side, sisters, brothers, aunts. Like, I done met all of her extended family. They already know who I am, and they like, yo, when you come into the Philippines, I'm like, all right, relax, I'm coming. Just give me a little time. So yeah, man, y'all stay tuned for that. Um, Looking to make this trip probably in like Septemberish, yeah. After I'm done, because guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. After I'm done with the first level of my home, I'm gonna take some time out because I ain't been nowhere else but the DR. Like, I'm like, yo, I love DR. Don't get me wrong, but I want to see other places. So once the first level of the home is complete, I'm gonna go ahead and go down to the Philippines, and then enjoy myself for about 2 weeks, and then come back and start getting ready to do the second level on the home. All right, and then also, guys, I remember the last video that I made with Chamo. Y'all stay tuned, because tomorrow, Chamo and I are gonna be doing a live video anytime between like 2 and 3. So y'all stay tuned for that. But the last video that I made, guys, and for those of you watching, don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe. The last video that I made, I was talking about, the next level, the next process in the construction, which was doing the flooring. And I told everybody, I'm like, yo, I'm tapped out. Money is so tight. Even though the prices of ceramics are have went down, everything is half off. Everything is half off, right? So with that being said, I'm like, okay, I'm not probably not gonna have any money until about October to do the flooring. Well, guys, I want to let y'all know that your boy done managed to hustle up that money to buy all the ceramics for the flooring. Yeah, I bought all my ceramics. I bought the cement. I bought the sand. So I'm waiting next week for Chamo to to give me that estimate on how much it's going to cost for the labor. Okay, guys. So I know initially, guys, I told y'all that when I did go and get the estimate for the flooring initially, it ran me $6,333 for the flooring for the whole entire house. That's including the driveway, the ceramics for the driveway, living room, kitchen, bathrooms, and dining room. Okay. So, yeah, it ran me $6,333, right? So Chamo went back. He said, Jay, because I told him, I said, Chamo, listen, I ain't got it. I ain't got it. He said, Hermano, I'm going to go back to the ceramic place because now everything is 50% off. He said, I know what you picked initially. It was expensive. Pick something else out that's still nice to save you some money. I said, you know what? You're right. So he went to the ceramic place, called me on live on FaceTime, and I started picking out. I picked out other ceramics than what I picked out initially. So y'all want to know the price of the ceramics for everything? This the second estimate that I got. I ended up paying $1,987. I almost paid a little less than $2,000 is what I spent on the ceramics for the whole entire house. All right. So I'm telling you guys, those who are building their home right now in the Dominican Republic, if you're building your home in the Dominican Republic right now, and you are working on, let's just say you're working on, your foundation is up and you want to do something else. If and you don't have the money, I suggest you go ahead and hustle up that money and buy them ceramics. Only because summertime is right around the corner, and I'm predicting that the price of those ceramics are gonna go up by the time the summertime hits. All right, so y'all keep that in mind. I didn't, and mind you guys, I didn't have the money when he told me that I was like, yo, just go in there and check. And when he told me that price, I ain't have it, but I found a way to get that money to pay for them to pay for them ceramics, for real. PL Kyle says, you think if you would have held off for a while, your building costs would have came down a lot more? Nah, PL Kyle, nah, not at all. Not at all, because the price of labor has gotten expensive. Before, you could pay a labor like $10 a day. Now it's $20 a day. So it's not just the price of materials. Labor has gotten expensive too. Okay. No, I'm no. Yeah, so I wouldn't, and for people like you, I wouldn't wait. Um I wouldn't wait for prices to go down, because let's be real, when inflation happens, in most cases, prices never go down. The only time things really go down is in the real estate market, is when we had a recession and people were losing their homes. Yeah, they had to drop the prices of real estate down, but in terms of like natural raw materials, materials, no, 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 no. And the only reason why those ceramics have went down is, from what I was told, is that there's a slow in building right now. It's slow because things are so expensive. You know what I mean? In terms of like not just the materials, land has gotten costly. It's gotten very expensive, especially in Dominican Republic. It really has. And who's to say, after I'm done building my home, I really had to ask myself. I mean, I got other property in Dominican Republic that I bought, but I don't really foresee myself building on that property. Nah, I don't, especially now because of the price of materials. And then now that I'm talking to this Filipino girl, if things go well with her and I'd rather take my money and build something over there. That's just to be real with you. I'm gonna be saving a hell of a lot. Why spend, because right now my builder told me to build a 100 square meter home in DR. It's like $100,000 right now just to build a 100 square meter home in DR. So I'm not, and then also let me tell you this. Since my boy is building out there in Philippines, just get, because I'm like, I just don't understand why is it so cheaper to build a house in Philippines versus building a house in Dominican Republic? I don't get it. $100 is a little over, I think it's like 5,600 pesos in Dominican Republic. $100 is 5,400 pesos, about 5,400. So it's not a big difference in the currency exchange. It really isn't, and it's still cheaper in the Philippines. So with that being said, because I asked my boy, I said, "Yo, bro, so tell me how much does it cost for a bag of cement?" You know how much he told me for a bag of cement? Now, a bag of cement in Dominican Republic is 500 pesos, which comes out to be about $8 and I think 47 cents for one bag of cement. One bag of cement in the Philippines costs, he told me, $3 and 90 something cents, $4. So it's damn near half the price, okay? Half the price for a bag of cement in the Philippines. So you tell me, if you was dating a girl in the Philippines and you had a house in DR, you thinking about building another, I'm pretty sure you probably say, fuck building a house in another house in DR. I'm going over to the Philippines and building, you know? Yeah. Because I'm like, yo, you telling me 21,000 to build a home with high quality materials? I can do that shit in less than a year on my salary, maybe a little year and a half. I could do that quick, you know? So yeah, I'm probably end up gonna go that route, man. For real, for real. And then I just like the way they live over there in the Philippines. On that compound. It's all family that live on that compound. So it's like, you're around family. You're around family. And the living there is peaceful. That's why, like I said, back to what I said, I built on the in the compo for a reason, because I like the country life, I like the quiet life, and that's how they live. Everything is organic. They got their fruit trees. Like, let's just say there was a recession, and I think about that shit, man. Like, us living in the city and stuff, God forbid there's food shortages and shit like that, and here it is, we're depending on our community to supply and demand us with food and everything. God forbid food shortages hit. Those people in the Philippines, they good. They got everything that they need to survive. We're fucked here. You know what I mean? We're fucked. So I think about that. And this is one of the reasons why I'm like, yo, where my house is up in the compo, or everything that I can raise and grow, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Oh yeah, for a fact, because there's no telling what the future's going to bring. How things are, going now, especially with all these migrants and shit moving all over. And it's not just here in the United States; it's all over the fucking place. My boy that lives out in Trinidad, and I'm trying to help him out too, because that's a whole nother story, but he got himself caught up in some shit when he was younger. So now he's deported out in Trinidad, and what I'm saying, he's doing this thing out there, and I be trying to like lift his spirits up and telling him, like, bro, you want to come back here to the States, ain't shit here for you. It's nothing here for you, bro. You got all this land out here in Trinidad, bro. Make use of what you got. You know what I mean? I ain't spoken to him in a while. After I'm done with this live, I gotta call and check up on him and see how he doing, because now he got himself a little job and shit. But he told me, he said, man, there's migrants all over out here too, and from Venezuela. So there's a whole bunch of Venezuelan migrants in Trinidad as well. But yeah, man, it's, you guys got to think about the future, and what I'm saying, start planning, because I'm planning, man. I'm planning. I'm like, yo, I'm 44, but By the time I'm 50, guys, especially for the ones that's my age, and I'm talking about the ones that's 40, under 50, y'all need to start planning for your future. Because by the time I'm 50, man, I want to be chilling. I'm working hard now so that when I do hit 50, I can enjoy the fruits of my labor, man. That's what it's all about. Back to some of these no. I don't know if y'all can hear me because somebody is ringing my phone, but nobody 92 said probably because of distance, DR is closer to the States. Philippines is more far away from the States. So it's harder to people to want to travel back and forth to the Philippines compared to DR. And you're right. You're right about that. I think that's what it's no different from Africa because I said that damn, if Africa was safer, I would have traveled there and probably invested in Africa too. You know what I'm saying? But the only reason why I'm now on the Philippine wave is because my boy is out there and he plugged me in through his girls. That's how I got the plug with the girl I'm talking to. So that's the only reason why I'm making my way out there, and not just that. Once I went to Asia, I said, I mean, the energy and the love that we got. I always said I gotta go back. You know what I mean? But you're right. The flight is probably why people don't go there. But I tell people when you go to Asia, man, no less than 2 weeks. No, because you need at least 2 days or three to adjust yourself to the time zone. You see what I'm saying? So, and then you want to experience that. You want to experience as much as you can possibly experience in Asia. So I tell people it's worth the trip. And then once you get there, everything is relatively inexpensive in terms of like the food and entertainment. All that shit is cheap, bro. Even the hotels are cheap. Airbnbs, I can't stress that enough. When I tell y'all it's cheap, it's cheap. Um, Nobody 92 says it's more easier for people to go to DR than Philippines. They probably don't. Yeah, I think I read that. Chris C, if you had to build a house in DR piece by piece again, would you do it differently if you were starting now? Hmm. Uh, no, not really, because nah, I wouldn't do it differently only because I got my team. If I was doing it all over again, I got my team, so I'm good. So no, I wouldn't do it differently. I do it the same way, but the way prices are now, um, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I wanted to build another home on my other piece of property in Munoz, but it's too expensive now, man. It's just too expensive, and this is why I'm telling people like you guys have no idea. I have countless of people reaching out to me. Oh, J, I want to buy a piece of property. I'm like, okay, well, what's your budget? Oh, about $5,000, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have nothing for that price. So for those of you guys who think that you can find something for $5,000 and $10,000, those days are long gone, long gone. And if you do find something for that price, more than likely it's gonna be in like I keep saying it, but like in the not so desirable parts where it's gonna take you about an hour, 2 hours to access a beach. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So you're gonna have to you might have to start looking at other places only because and it's unfortunate because DR is like was one of the cheapest places in the in Latin America to build. I don't know so much about like Colombia because I haven't been to Colombia yet, so I don't know. I don't even know if it's safe to even build in Colombia. You know what I mean? And I know Panama. I know some of my one of my viewers that's building doing his thing out in Panama, but I honestly believe DR was like one of the cheapest places to build. But now, as I said before, it's a flux of people moving to Dominican Republic, and that's what's driving up the real estate market. You know what I mean? It's just driving it up. Um, Before you could rent a home in Dominican Republic. I'm talking about a luxury home. I'm talking about maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. You can rent a luxury home for about $700, 6, 700. Now you're talking 13, 14, $1,500. These American prices, man. Yeah, it's expensive. I heard Puerto Rico is super cheap to build, plus it's American money you can use. I'm not so sure about that. I know my mom's best friend is Puerto Rican, and she built her house out there a few years ago, and she's actually living in Puerto Rico now. She's out there full time, and my mom is supposed to be going down there sometime, I think in the summer. She's getting married, but I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out because in Puerto Rico you're using American money anyway, and they use American money there anyway. So I don't know. I honestly think it's probably more expensive, nobody 92 to build in Puerto Rico opposed to like building in DR. I honestly believe it's cheaper to build in DR than it is in Puerto Rico. Because let's be honest, if that were the case, there'd be a shitload of people. There'd be a lot of Americans wanting to build over there if that were the case. You know what I'm saying? And it also depends, it also depends on where. And I wouldn't build in Puerto Rico anyway, only because those the hurricanes and shit. Puerto Rico's just had so many natural disasters, that I wouldn't even consider investing my money there. And the same thing as Haiti, like, well, I wouldn't say like Port-au-Prince, because Port-au-Prince, it's a lot of hurricanes, tremors and shit. And I think Haiti is on a fault line, which is reason why they get so many earthquakes and stuff. So I anywhere where it's susceptible of having earthquakes and stuff, uh-uh. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't invest my money. I wouldn't do it. Um, Logan and Jake Paul built their houses out there and taking advantage of the no taxes. The no taxes where, bro? In Puerto Rico, where they have no taxes. And Jose Espinal, one of my viewers, hey Jay, ¿cómo está? Quiero saber por cuánto es. Okay, he's asking about my pool. Yeah, guys. So pretty much, yeah. I didn't want to go out of topic. I know I'm going here and there, but I'm gonna say this, guys, for the fellas that's looking to settle down. Please, guys, broaden your horizons, man. Don't just look at DR as an option to find love. There's women all over the place. Start visiting other countries and checking other countries out and seeing what's out there before you choose your mate. Because I said it in one of my videos, your mate might not be in Dominican Republic. And it's crazy because I was just talking to my boy, like it just happened out of nowhere, and now I'm talking to this girl, and it's like we I guess we at our honeymoon stage and shit. But yeah, I'm gonna see what it do, and when I get out in Philippines and I go on my lives and shit, I'll introduce it to the world. That it depends on how things go, with us or whatever. I'm keeping a positive outlook. You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep it positive. Yeah. So that's what it is, man. And I'm trying to think of anything else before I close out, because I've been on this live shit for about 73 minutes. But yeah, guys, I know I did say that I was gonna be going down in June. It's still on the fence. I didn't pay for my ticket already, but I really didn't want to go down there until I could stay in the crib, And Cham was like, "Jay, you don't bought the ceramics, so it looked like you gonna be ready to come in June." And I'm like, "Nah, I don't know, because I still gotta do." Well, once I get the estimate on the labor cost, and I'll share that with you guys, how much it's gonna run me for the labor. Now that you guys know how much I spent, and for those of you just coming in, for the flooring for the whole entire house, that's not including the pool, because the pool I'm going to do last, because I really want to do that pool. Like, I want it to be a wow factor, you know what I'm saying? And now that I didn't spend a whole lot of money on the ceramics, I think I'm going to ceramic my whole entire pool, guys. Yeah, I think I'm going to do ceramics, and I'm going to do a waterfall, lights. That shit is going to look It's gonna look nice. And I tell people, when you're building, this is your home, man. These are for the people who plan on living there. If you're looking to just build to do an Airbnb, I wouldn't necessarily say go all out. Not unless you plan on selling in the future. You know what I mean? But if you're looking to keep this in your family and hold on to it, my suggestion is take your time and put what you want to put into your home. Now, I will say, because I don't want people like, well, damn, why didn't he do two different bathrooms? So both of the bathrooms on the main level are gonna be the same, only because I got a good price for the ceramics for the bathrooms. So the bathrooms on both levels is gonna be the same. And when I do the upper level, guys, because there's gonna be two bathrooms up there, I'm going to do two different style bathrooms up on the top level. Okay. Yeah. So I said, because the initial bathroom that I wanted to do for my bathroom, I told Chamo, he was like, well, it's a little expensive. I said, I don't care. It's my bathroom. But they didn't have any more of the ceramics. So they were out of stock. That's the only reason why I didn't get those. So I'm going to wait. And hopefully by the time I'm ready to build up top, those ceramics that I initially wanted for my bathroom are back in stock. Nobody 92 says, seems like every time you talk about dating related topics in DR, your views go up and the videos are longer. I know. That's because it's a lot of brothers and sisters that's looking for love, genuine love. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that's gonna really be there for them. Because there's countless of stories of, people, brothers getting married, bringing I'm gonna tell y'all something real quick too, and y'all you give me your honest opinion about this bullshit. So the last time I was in Dominican Republic, guys, I had bought my home, well, somebody, I wouldn't necessarily call him my homie, but somebody that I thought, that I could rock with outside of working with. This is my coworker, you know what I'm saying? Set him up with a baddie, probably the baddest bitch he's ever been with. And I told him before he met her to take your time, bro. Take your time with her, get to know her. It's no rush. No rush. So we get down to Dominican Republic, right? I'm in my Airbnb. He's in his Airbnb. We got our own Airbnbs. He calls me. He said, Jay, I want you to come over and have a drink with me. I'm like, all right, give me a minute, bro. I'll be over there shortly. I get over there. The girl I introduced him to is there with him. You know what I'm saying? Dude pulls out a fucking ring. Pulls out a ring. A wedding, an engagement ring. Mind you, he never told me any of this shit when we got on the plane. Just totally blindsided me, bro. Just blindsided me. So I'm just like, I'm sitting here like, it was just baffling. Just the whole situation, awkward, baffling, and so many fucking words. So I was just like, bro, you're proposing to her? He's like, yeah. So I didn't say anything. I didn't say nothing because I did already told you. And my thing is, my situation. I told you everything that happened with me, and the whole game about females in Dominican Republic, and you know that I've been traveling down there since 2015. You should be moving the way I move. You don't see me, just jumping into any woman's arms just because, right? So I said, all right, fine. That's what you want. And don't say I didn't tell you. I done warned you, right? So now we get back to the States. Somebody I work with. Before then, we talked every day. Like he started moving different now. You know what I'm saying? Started moving really, really different, guys. Like, so I told him, I said, yo, bro, now I knew he was going back to Dominican Republic because his schedule and my schedule just wouldn't allow us to go at the same time, only because I got other things that I'm trying to do before I go back down there. So I kept asking him, yo, bro, when are you going back to Dominican Republic? I didn't give a fuck when you were going back. The only reason why I asked him when he was going is because I had plans on sending some stuff down there with him for Chamo. You understand what I'm saying? Stuff that I needed for the house and some other miscellaneous things. and I was gonna pay him, give him the money for the extra suitcase and everything, right? So now I asked him, I said, yo, bro, I asked him just recently, I said, yo, bro, so when are you going back down to Dominican Republic? He said, yo, Jay, it went over my head. This shit went over my head. So he said, Jay, I need you to help me fill out the e-ticket. So I was like, all right, don't worry, I got you. So we sitting in the break room, and I didn't think, it just shit wasn't registering because I got so much other shit that I'm thinking about going on. So I'm like, yo, bro, why do you need me to do the e-ticket for you now? So then no sooner than I asked, I said, so bro, when are you going back down? You know what he told me, y'all? He said, I'm leaving tomorrow. I said, what? I said, you leaving tomorrow? Bro, when the fuck was you gonna tell me? You know what I'm saying? And I told him, guys, I told him straight to his face, because that's one thing about me, y'all. I'm a sharpshooter. I'm a straight up sharpshooter. When he told me that he was leaving the next day, I told him straight up, I said, bro, that's fucked up. I said, that's really, really fucked up. I said, I'm feeling some kind of way. Because before that, I booked your Airbnb. I booked your flight. You didn't know nothing. Now all of a sudden you done booked your own Airbnb. All right, babes. You done booked your own Airbnb. You done booked your own flight. Like now, so now you moving like you know the country better than fucking me. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't it was it what really upsetted me, guys, is the fact that, you know, you gonna tell me, oh, it was just last minute? Get the fuck out of here. It wasn't last minute, because if it was last minute, I would have known about it. You knew exactly when you were going. And one thing I don't like is when people try to play me, play me for my intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you playing this shit long before. You know what I mean? And now, so I said, you know what? I'm like, am I wrong for feeling that way, guys? Like, would y'all feel some type of way? Like, I went out my way to help you. You know what I'm saying? And not just with the whole DR thing, other things. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the big secret about you going to Dominican Republic? And as I said, I didn't give a fuck if you went or not. The only reason why I wanted to know is so that I could send you there. And then he gonna tell me, because I said, bro, I wanted to send a suitcase with you. He's like, well, I already got enough stuff. I got too many things already. And I was like, all right, it's cool. It's cool. I played it off like it's cool, but I had to go back. My it just wouldn't allow me to just say fuck it. I told him, I said, bro, I'm gonna tell you again, it's fucked up what you did. I said, enjoy your trip, bro. Enjoy your trip. He went down there for about, I think, 9 days. He came back on the 12th, and he texts me today. He's been back since the 12th, and he texts me today. Like, what's up, buddy? You know what I mean? And I looked at his text message, I read that shit, and I kept it moving, because you're not my friend. You're not somebody that I consider a friend. I considered you, like, if I fuck with you outside of the job, and there's not too many people I mix up with outside of my job. I'm gonna let y'all know that. I done mixed up with you outside of the job, brought you to DR, rolled out the red carpet for you, and this is the thanks that I get, you know? But it's cool. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's just, people move funny nowadays. People move real funny. They use you for what they can get out of you, and when they feel like they there's no more use, they have no more use for you, they throw you away. But yeah, that was the story with that. So but I told him, I told my boy, I was like, me and Chamu was talking, and that was another thing. Chamu, when you was out there, I introduced you to Chamu and all of that. Chamu showed you love. You didn't think when he got down there, he called Chamu and said, yo, Chamu, come over and have a drink. He never once called my boy for nothing. Nothing. So I was just like, you're a sleazeball for that. And I told him to be careful. In the beginning, I warned him. That girl is going to take his ass for a ride. She's going to take him for a ride, because I told you from the beginning to just, get to know her. You there for a short time, not a long time. Just have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Just have a good time. And you know what I knew that the girl was dangerous, bro. And I never said nothing to him because you're in love. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I was over there, when he, invited me for the drink and shit, you too much on her. Like women like space, bro. I'm like, yo, and I told him the next day, bro, you was doing too much. You was all over her like white on fucking rice. Women don't like that. And if she does like you, and you could tell that she wasn't into him like that. This is somebody I thought was my boy. Like she's the type of woman you could tell that likes a man with swag, that can dress nice and keep themselves up. Not to say that he just don't got no style in terms of his swag. You know what I'm saying? And she's looking at me and shit, and I'm like, sweetheart, don't look over here. Like, I don't do that to my homie. But when I knew, something told me it was a telltale sign. And I'm gonna close out after this, but I'm at her people's crib because we getting some fish. It's Sunday. The local pescateria is closed, so she knew where to get some local fish from people that live in the neighborhood. So we get to the spot and Spanish salsa's playing, and I'm just, I'm listening and I'm just doing this or that. So I happen to turn around, bro, and her eyes was fucking glued to me, guys. She's like this, rubbing her hair, and I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, oh man. I never told him that, but I said this girl is not who I thought she was. But you want to go out there and bring a fucking engagement ring and do a whole proposal and all of this? So I'm not saying nothing. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Yeah. I'm gonna read some of these comments and I'm gonna close out, guys. This the same dude that you hooked up with the girl you was talking to. Yes, nobody 7-1. Yep. The same dude. Same dude. He should have told you that he couldn't do it to begin with. And that's all I asked, bro. All you had to do was send me, Jay, this is the situation. And I would have left it at that. But nah, you want to be secretive, go down there without telling me. And like anything could have happened to you, bro. You don't do shit like that. You don't just, not that something would have happened to him, but the way you moved was dangerous. I would have never done that. You know what I'm saying? And then you get out there, you don't even check for my boy. You could have at least, invited, yo, Chamo, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Come through and have a drink with me. Like, you went out there and did your own thing, and that's fine. That's fine. But the person I thought you was, you're not that person. And my mother always says silence is golden. I'm not saying nothing else to you, bro. My actions is gonna show. My actions is gonna show. Cause what else is there to say? You done lied to me. You done played me. You tried to play me, but you played yourself. You played yourself. But that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Nobody. The respect ain't mutual. It damn sure ain't mutual. But it's all good. It's all good. You know. Don't you work together though? How do you avoid him? Yeah, we work together, but we work in two different departments. And I'm a type of bro. My silent treatment game is serious, bro. I can easily give a person a silent treatment. I'm very good at that. And I can say what's up with you and keep it moving. I mean, I'm not, if I see him, what's good, and I keep it moving. Anything other than that, I don't got nothing to say to you, bro. I have nothing to say to you. You know what it is, and I know what it is. So ain't no need for, like, that's just how I am. When you done did me wrong, you know what I'm saying? It's no need for me to go and verbally express it. Nah, because all that's gonna do is work me up and get me upset. So it's better for me to just withdraw myself from a situation and keep it the fuck moving. Because at the end of the day, it's your loss. I'm not losing no sleep over here. I sleep good at night. Your boy ain't losing no sleep at all. You lost out on some, and I was genuine to you. I really looked out for you. I really tried to help you, lead you in the right direction. People like that, you can't help. You can't help. But with that being said, guys, hold on. I'm gonna read this one more. Damn, and I remember you telling me He was begging you to take him to DR so he wouldn't have that girl and know about DR if it wasn't for you. Exactly. You ain't know shit about DR until I took you down there. Now you're the fucking expert of Dominican Republic. You done, yeah. But like I said, it's all good. And then you know what his downfall is gonna be? Because she's a baddie. And I'm gonna be honest, it's the baddest bitch he's ever been with. I know it for a fact. You're gonna bring that girl here and you live up there in the Bronx. You're gonna have problems. You're gonna have a shitload of problems bringing that girl here to New York, especially up there in the Bronx. That's Dominican territory. It's a lot. Nothing. It's like the population of Latinos in the Bronx. We're talking about. It's a 90% population of Latinos that live in the Bronx. Okay, so you bringing her from DR to move her up there in the Bronx. A brother with no swag. You know how many niggas in the brothers in the Bronx that got swag? He's gonna have a problem. He's gonna have a big problem. She gonna run him. She gonna take him for a ride. And I'm not gonna be there to tell you I told you so, because I don't want to hear nothing. You did that shit to yourself. She probably got her real boyfriend out in the Bronx. Yeah, she probably do. Probably do already. You know, when you get with these chicks, they tell you, oh, I don't have no family here. And then when they get here, you got cousins and shit that you thought I thought you said you ain't got no family. Now all these cousins and long distance relatives is coming out of fucking woodworks. Yeah, but he gonna pay the price for that. Trust and believe me, guys. He gonna pay the price. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate y'all for tuning into this live. Damn, 90 minutes and 58 seconds. Wow, it's a long time. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Be sure to tune in. I got 2 lives coming up, 2 interviews. Me and Chamo's gonna be going live tomorrow between like around 2 o'clock tomorrow. So y'all stay tuned for that. And y'all stay tuned for me and my boy. I'm waiting for him because he's flying into Cambodia, I think one day this week, because I'm waiting for him only because I want to do the live with him when he has a good connection. That way there's no interruption. So y'all stay tuned for that. And if y'all want to check out his channel, he's up and coming. He's got a little content out. Please support his channel. Definitely up and coming. And he's building a house out there in DR as well, so y'all can check that out. His name is Brooklyn Nomad, so be sure to check out his channel too, and just stay tuned for more content that he's gonna be putting out. All right, I appreciate all the love and support, guys. And for those of you guys who are just tuning in, be sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, guys, I'll be talking to y'all. Y'all stay safe, and y'all be easy out there. Take care.